Today I'm going to discuss my favorite brain part, the cerebellum. Cerebellum is also a Latin term for little brain. This is just one of many of the names for cerebellum. Other names and terms include cerebellar hemisphere, the hindbrain, and vermis. The cerebellum is located inferior to a majority of the brain. It is inferior to the occipital lobe of the cerebrum and posterior to the top of the brainstem. To expand, the cerebellum is located in the region of the rhombencephalon, also known as the hindbrain. As a little bit of anatomy, the cerebellum is around the size of a softball or the size of your hand when you ball it up. The cerebellum is divided into two different lobes, the anterior lobe and the posterior lobe. In some cases, a third lobe, named the flocculonodular lobe, is found. As you can see in the photo at the bottom of the screen, the lobes are divided into the three different portions and color-coded. So what does it do? The cerebellum plays a major role in movement, balance, coordinating complex movement, vision or eye movement, and motor learning. Some research suggests that the cerebellum also possibly plays a role in processing language and mood, emotional behavior, and organizing the functions of other parts of the brain. What makes it tick? The cerebellum sends electrical impulses to stimulate muscles that work to produce voluntary muscle movement. This works in concordance with the motor cortices of the cerebrum. It is important to note, however, that the cerebellum is not initially activating the movement, but it is responsible for coordinating the complex movements once it receives the initial impulse. As an additional function, the cerebellum stores portions of information while motor learning develops. This could be walking, driving, or many other aspects or tasks. There are several disorders that could cause disruption in the cerebellum. Such are stroke, brain bleeds, toxins, genetic anomalies, infection, and cancer. Unfortunately, most of what we know about the cerebellum has been found by what occurs when it has been damaged, diseased, or is even non-functional. Some of the symptoms that point to damage of the cerebellum are headaches, dysmetria, or the inability to see distance or even to stop, adiadochokinesia, or the inability to perform rapid alternating movements, the intention tremor or movement tremor, ataxic gait, or a wide walking gait, or staggering, a tendency toward falling, hypotonia or low muscle tone, ataxic dysarthria or slurred speech, and nystagmus or abnormal eye movements. As you can see in the photo, the infant has hypotonia or decreased muscle tone. Why is the cerebellum my favorite brain part? I have chosen the cerebellum as my favorite brain part because I plan on becoming an occupational therapist in the future. As an occupational therapist, my job will be to work with individuals on their fine and gross motor skills as well as balance and other tasks used and performed by the cerebellum. I also work in a childcare with children ages 12 to 22 months as they are learning to walk, balance, and refine their gross motor skills. It is really fun to see them